Well, for the past 30 some years, I've been working outdoors. I started as a heavy equipment operator, was as a laborer, then as a operator, then I poured concrete for 20 years, and now I've been doing apartment maintenance for a whole bunch of years. So I've always been doing jobs where I'm on my feet, I'm walking a lot, I'm really physically working. So my body is used to being outdoors, working a lot. One thing that I did notice for the first 20 years, I would say, is that after after a few months, my body would always crash. I didn't know what was going on for years. I would work really really hard, and my body would just crash. And there came a point where I would have to say, you know what, I got to take a few days off because everything hurts. I'm sore. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't really understand. I was still too young, or I hadn't paid attention to what was really going on. And I kept on doing this for years and years, and I couldn't understand. And I knew I've always been a hard worker. I'm always out there Saturdays, Sundays. But eventually, my body would just crash. Everything hurt. My feet hurt. My back hurt. I couldn't go on anymore, and I would fall into this really deep fatigue. And I didn't know how to deal with it for years, till with time, with experience, and talking to other older guys, I realized that there's two things that will get to you. One is not having the right amount of sleep or the right bed. If you're sleeping on a sofa somewhere, or in a corner of a room, and you don't have the right proper bed, your body's not really resting. So your body may not have the strength, the energy to do what you have to do or what you want to do. You may be at work the 8 hours, and then after a few hours you're ready to go home because your body just can't take it anymore. It's not that sometimes it's not that you're lazy, it's just that your body it doesn't have the energy. It didn't save up enough energy, it didn't rest properly for you to be able to work properly. Right now I'm in my close to my 50s, and I can still work. I work 10 hours every day. I work Saturdays, Sundays. I haven't fallen to that fatigue for a long time. It's one thing is I did buy a proper bed, a good bed. Of course, now I've been married for more than 20 years, so of course I gotta have a proper bed. I don't sleep in a sofa or nothing like that. But another thing that I noticed is that after a few months, my body was just aching. Everything hurt for years, and I didn't really know what was going on. So I started realizing every time I buy a new pair of boots, my body gets better. So there came a time where I would stop at any store, even at a Walmart, and I would throw away the boots, even if they were good boots, because they're just too worn out. I mean, good boots in the sense of expensive boots. I would throw them out and just buy cheap boots just for a couple of days, just because I started realizing that if I don't have the right boots, or if my boots are too worn out, I was getting really really tired. Now, what happens with me? And I've seen a lot of guys over the years that do this. Either you wear your boots out or in. And I've seen both. And it gets really drastic. It gets to the point where it's not just that you're wearing your boots out, like mine would always wear out. It's that the whole this side of the boot is just ready to pop out. It's bursting out. The seams, sometimes you'll tear the seams, you'll tear everything here. So the boot is really crooked, and in my case, my feet are really sideways, and my back, my knees, my legs, everything starts hurting. And I would fall into this really deep fatigue. I didn't realize the first years. Then after a while, I started, it's the boots. It's the boots. So I used all kinds of boots. I poured concrete for 20 years. So I used diehards for 20 years, And every time my body started hurting, I knew it was the boots. I'd get rid of them. So a pair of diehards would last me about 4 months. But this is when I was pouring concrete, which means I was walking on dirt most of the time. So my boots weren't wearing out as fast because I was just walking on dirt. Obviously, when you're pouring concrete, there's nothing to walk on but dirt. So I was walking on dirt. My boots were lasting about 6 months. When I started apartment maintenance, my boots started lasting me about 2.5 months, because I really wear my boots out a lot and really fast. And it doesn't matter the brand. I've bought them all. I've owned them all, from expensive ones to cheap ones to anything you could think of. And it always came to the point where I had to stop. It was almost an emergency stop, throw away the boots and just buy another pair of boots, because my body just couldn't handle it. Now, the boots that I bought, and I wrote them down here on this, it's a Redwing, the Style 2440, the Traction Tread Light. Now, I'll tell you, I've been doing apartment maintenance for quite a bit of years, and my boots just were not lasting, because you walk on asphalt a lot every day. And my boots were, I would say, at least every 3 months I had to buy a new pair of boots. And I'm talking about boots that are over $200. Now, this time I bought these boots. These are the Redwings. And as you can see, the sole, I just wore out the bottom of the sole a little bit here, but the sole in general is still good. The only reason I do have another new pair of these boots, same boots, but without the steel toe. Or these are not steel, these are some different material, but they're pretty much a hard. I only wore this one out. This one's still good. The reason this wore out is because I do a lot of air conditioning work, and it just on roofs, every day I have over 400 units that I take care of as a maintenance tech. That I'm the one that fixes AC. So, but I still use these boots for 9 months. I mean, 9 months is a long time for me. I've never had a pair of boots for 9 months, and these boots I still keep in my truck in case I'm doing something or working on some like muddy stuff or something where I don't want to tear up my newer boots. These boots I can still use now. If you're having this issue, the fatigue, the tiredness, it could be your shoes. I know a lot of guys can work with tennis shoes and they're fine. I was never able to do that because I wore out tennis shoes much faster than I could wear out boots. But I know some guys that you guys can, use a pair of boots for 10 years, 20 years, you'll be okay. But this is for the guys that have this problem. Either you wear your boots, your soles in or out, and you know what I'm talking about. This fatigue is really serious, and it can get to you, and I'm sure it could cause long-term damage. So I just wanted to make this video, talk about these boots. These are great boots. I recommend them. Of course, Redwing's not paying me or anything like that. I bought these boots, and I thought I would share them with you guys, and hopefully this helps somebody out, and you guys, have a better rest of your working career or life or whatever trade you're doing, and it's more comfortable knowing that you have a better set of boots. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.